Are we rolling? Oh, we're rolling. Hi guys. Hello. First of all, I just want to apologize, guys. I want to apologize for disappearing for the longest of times. Please don't judge me. I got a job, alright? So, that is the reason basically why I have not been able to be on my phone to create any content, is because I got a job. Alright, so I'm working as a office administrator at this law firm here at home. So super exciting. Like things are just like so much fun. I'm having so much fun now. That's not an excuse, I mean, to neglect my social media. So I'm so sorry for taking such a sabbatical, and I promise that I will try at least every weekend to work on some content, right? Because I mean, it is the weekend now and I don't work weekends. Monday to Friday only. Because galas nga babantu abangasebenzi nge-weekend. Hayiba no ngizayenza nge-weekend which because vela nisebenzi. Basically guys, this is a story time. Let's just dive straight into it. I'm not gonna waste your time. This is gonna be basically a story time about the time I was hijacked. Never. Let's dive straight into it. So what happened was, I went out with my friend Usnalo. This is in Durban basically. So it's around about, I don't know, is this like what, 2017, 2018? And we were going to Taco Zulu because there was like a Mexican Wednesday special. So there were like shots, like the shots were like fucking cheap basically. So we were like, oh, we're gonna go and we're gonna go get smashed, I mean. In front of Snalo, I'm like, Snalo, chonga chami let's go kanje na kanje. Mhlambi seko Mexican Wednesday. Kumnandi athi Snalo nisemsebenzini. Ngaphuma emsebenzini ndiye pha kuwe yabo. Ibusiya pha. Yabona? Yaphela ke i-happy hour ngo-6 and Snalo uphuma ngo-5. Uzobe efike nini after. So mama ndiyambe. And I go straight to the restaurant and I order. I order like 12 shots and I have them there waiting for the time when Snalo gets there. Snalo gets there, we get smashed, and we have such a brilliant time. After that, we decide we want to have, some ganja burns, right? So after that, we decide, okay, what are we gonna do? Are we gonna go to my place? Or are we gonna go to your place? Yeah, but so we end up deciding, let's go to Snalo's place, because at that time I was staying with my aunt, right? So we couldn't go, obviously, to my place. When we get into the Uber, so request the Uber, my phone is like on 10%, first of all. So request to Uber, the Uber gets there and Snalo just starts getting so drunk in the Uber, right? Like, it's like, when you're drinking and you're sitting down and then when you wake up, it's like, hey, what's going on, That was the situation with Snalo, and he just got hammered. Like, when we were in the Uber, he was just like, Dagiwa Lemon too, and he didn't know what was going on. We get to his place and he's drunk and he just passes out on his bed, and literally I'm like, hey bo, oh hello. This is what Kubelega said, and have a great time. Okay, so irrespective of that, I decide, because this was a Wednesday and on Thursdays I always had campus early in the morning. So I was like, what do? Do you sleep at Snalo's house or and then like miss the class tomorrow morning? And I usually miss this class Vela because like I never go to the class. And then I decide, but no, don't miss your class, ne? Be an upstanding student, alright? Do the right thing, go home and sleep at your place so that you can wake up in the morning and make it in time for the class, right? I finally decide, you know what, let me request an Uber. My phone's on 10% and I'm like, oh, you know what, I'm just gonna request quickly and then I'm just gonna head home. Because I stay like behind the street. Usnala stays on this street, I stay on this street, right? But you have to go around. So I decided to call an Uber, obviously. It's like 11 o'clock at the night. So I request my Uber and I call my sister because I was staying with my sister. So I'm like, hey babes, I'm on my way. I'm bringing you some pizza. Don't sleep. I'm coming. So she's like, okay, cool. I'm awake. Come through, babe. I think Uber and I throw the key into the window because Snalo was too drunk to come open for me. So I throw the window and I leave, right? So I've got my bag, I've got my phone, I've got my chargers. I'm drunk, right? So I've just got like a whole lot of things and I've got my bag with me. When I get into the cab, I'm like, hi, Butunjani, blah, blah, blah. I get in, and then I start packing my shit in my bag. So I'm trying to like look for my keys so I can just, open and get into my place. Hey, Hi, John. Imoto, guys. And then all of a sudden, we just see like someone on the road, right? So the time we see someone on the road, like the driver is driving fast, obviously, and then he like brakes to, you know, because he's thinking, oh, I might knock someone over. By the time we get to the person is holding a gun, pointing the gun at the Uber driver. Hey, Haibo. I'm like, huh? And then he's also like very confused. Next thing we know, there's another guy knocking on the window with a gun. Nangapa, someone else is knocking on the gun. They open the door. They grab the Uber driver and they shove him in the back with me. And the one guy gets into the car. Another one gets into the passenger seat next to the driver. And one of them joins us here in the back. And all in that commotion, the car starts driving. Haibo. And then it just hits me. Oh my God, I'm being hijacked. Oh my God, I am being hijacked. I'm like, no, you don't need to take me. Ninganshia, you can just drop me off here. I live right here. Guys, yambi moto. Hey, yambi moto. Haibo. I'm like, I'm thinking to myself, not me being hijacked. Woo! I am stabbing. And then they keep driving, and then the guy's like, no, keep your heads down. So I just keep my head down. I don't look at anyone because I don't want to, like, I always see, like, in the movies that, you know, they kill someone who recognizes their face or whatever. So immediately I get into that mode. I'm like, I'm not going to look at anyone's face. I'm going to look down the whole time. I'm just like, I don't know. I've never been in a situation like this. So what am I supposed to do but react in the most trying to keep myself safe way, you know? I look down, and I'm trying to keep my eyes out of them. The car's driving fast, and the car was driving fast. I'm talking Need for Speed fast. I'm talking Fast and the Furious fast. I'm talking, you just got caught cheating and you gotta run fast. That's like literally how fast things were going. Hey, yambi moto. Teta ispeed bumps sana sikwi roller coaster. Hey, on my tip. Oh, yes, I literally just called my sister and told her I was coming. And another thing is that Usnalo's fucking dead and at his place. He doesn't even know I left. Nobody knows where the fuck I am right now. Yambi moto, guys. Hey. After everything, and you see, when I saw the guys and stuff like that, I just shoved everything in my bag, right? So the guy that's here in the passenger seat behind us, he starts going into my bag. He grabs my bag. He goes into my bag. I said, bah! Euphonium. Oh, euphonium. Oh, euphonium. Okay, let's go up. Material things as long as umphefumlo usakho. You ndiyaxoka rha i-iPhone ibiza kangaka. Ndandihacked ngephone yam, guys. Yay! This guy athathe ifone yam, you guys. Like literally, athathe ifone yam agqoqe. And mom had bought me like this other small cute Nokia phone where she was like saying about, yeah, because your phone's like expensive, whenever you go to like town or whatever, carry this phone and don't use this phone, blah blah blah. So I was like, I had that phone and it was in my bag and I was coming back from campus, you guys. That's the reason why I had all my things. Athathe phone yam, okay. Oh, my phone now too. And it's just, I'm just like, and can you imagine me 2018? Ooh. They dig through our things and they take everything. He takes my bag and then he starts taking my watch. He starts taking my rings. He takes my necklace. First of all, they smell so bad. And he's got all these dirty hands touching my body, touching my neck, touching my... Let's take a sip from those dirty hands. I basically not only was being kidnapped, but I was being violated and sexually harassed at the same time because he did search our bodies. We get to this place. The car stops and then I finally put my head up and when I look around, it's like dark, you guys. Like we are in the middle of nowhere. And when I look afar, I can see like small lights. And then I'm just like, oh my God. Oh my God. This is it. This is it. They are going to leave us here and they are going to shoot our bodies and we are never going to get found. I am Umxhosa wase Mount Frere Engqongo. That's where I come from originally. Yahiva. My mom is currently in Elusikisiki, and how on earth is anybody gonna know where I am? And then like that was the time I started to get scared. Like I started to get scared at that point. I was like, oh my God, I'm gonna die. And I've never thought like I'm gonna die. You know what I mean? You never think you're gonna die. Or you never put in a situation where you're like, oh my God, I'm gonna die. I mean, there was literal guns in the car and they made us, then the one guy came and he opened my door and he was like, come out. So then I stood out and then I was like, oh my God. Hey guys. Hey. Ooh. I just got a little worried because we were just thinking about the whole situation. Hey. Now, I just don't understand, guys, but how is it that other human beings can do things like this to other people and just think it's okay, you know? After getting out the car, he tells me to go in the back, right? So, see, I'm a Datsun, by the way. This car is a Datsun. So I jump into the back. He says I must jump into the back. He's not even a gentleman to turn down the seat so I can go into the back seat. He says I must jump over the boot. Like I'm some criminal when he's the criminal. So I jump over the back, and they make a phone call and he goes like, he calls this guy and he's like, and then the driver, the Uber driver that I was with originally says, no, mfethu akuyona i-Avanza i-Datsun le. Oh, then he's like, oh no mfethu siphethe i-Datsun, right? I-Datsun akekho umuntu ozothenga lowo mbhedo lowo, and then he drops the call. And then I'm just thinking, no offense to Datsun drivers, sorry about that. So basically the guy, or I think this was like their dealer or like some guy who was gonna buy the car from them. So they probably steal the cars and they bring them to this guy. So he didn't want the Datsun and they were now sitting with a car that they didn't know where to hide, and obviously they just hijacked this car and obviously you can't park it at your place and whatever. So their deal sort of fell through and then now they had to improvise. So they all got out the car and they stood outside the car and they were just talking. And they started fighting and arguing and someone was shouting at them, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And then the other one was like, move, you know? And then I was like, hope. There's hope. There's hope. I had so much hope. I had more hope than a woman who takes back a cheetah mtakabao. I was hoping more than ever at that moment. Hey, that one might this is the time. Dear Lord, I've never asked you for anything that is out of your reach, but this time I'm telling you, I must get home. I can't not get home. I haven't even graduated. I had not even graduated that time. Imagine dying without graduating. And so they finish their conversation and they get into the car and they start driving. Mind you, I forgot to tell you this very important thing. The whole time that we were traveling with this Uber ride, I had requested on my bank card. So njengoba sihamba nje sisiya koGoogle lethu, sisiya koJosini, koPongola, that's wherever we are going, because I don't know where we were going. It's deducting from my card. Ithi nje lalela la sicela imali yakho. Thatha imali njengamanje. First of all, ngaze ngafrazeka ngiyahijackwa. Okwesibili futhi ngimina okukhokhela le trip yokuhijackwa. How guys, usathane. Sihambe ke kuphindele eback ke guys. Kuphindele emva ke. Ophindele emva, the guy starts opening my wallet. Lo ebethatha izinto zami ke ohlela lapha eback. On the audacity yokunthatha chains zami. Thatha nekawusi zami. Wathatha nekawusi. How can you take ikawusi? I understand if you take someone's socks while you were taking the sneakers, right? He took my sneakers and left my socks. Then he came back for my socks. I'm actually getting very agitated telling this story because I'm just thinking, these guys, clearly the deal fell off, ne? So they were probably telling themselves, we just gotta get as much as we can now. That's basically what they were saying in their lives. Hey! Yeke le ayinamsebenzi. Hayike fine sihambe ke kungabikho stress guys. Xa sihamba avula iwallet yam ugayi athi ngqo ngamakhadi wam. Uyayibona? Bavula imoto bavula i-cabin holder. Xa bevula i-cabin holder bathi ngqo 1,000 rand ka-driver that he had made during his Uber trips. And they took the 1,000 rand and they took the driver's dirty flops. The driver had like these old flops and they took them. Guys, when I tell you these guys were like scavengers. Proper hyena mentality. That's what was going on there. Those birds that eat a dead carcass. Or not a dead carcass. That eat a carcass. What are they called, Ganen? I forgot those birds. What are these fucking birds called? What are the fucking birds? Oh, it doesn't even matter. Okay. Basically, these were people that were just like, they just wanted everything, right? So while we were driving on the way back, the guy opens my wallet, he finds my card, and he's like, Una mali nekadin. And I was like, I don't know, I think I've got like 400 rand because I was swiping where I came from and I was drunk at that time. But now I was sober, obviously. So in my mind, and then he says, okay, ATM. How? Hayibo, guys. Hayibo. Garage. Garage. Afake garage aphuma ugayame ngaphandle athi avele ngaphandle emoto nathi ithini pin. DB's pin yam 87 something. DB's, I don't even remember my pin that time. DB's a pin yam ever. And then he goes. I think around about 2 minutes, all we hear is ngivele ngiyizwe imali yami ihamba Jehovah ithi nje lalela. I'm gone. Bye babes, I'll see you. It was nice hanging with you, but now I'm gonna go with these guys. Bayikhupha imali yami guys, bayikhupha imali yami. Yaqonda ba yabona ngoku I'm defeated. I don't think there's anything else that they can do that is like more, or is like, there's nothing that they can do basically that beats what they've just done right now. I see I'm the guys, and they eventually go and they drop us off. When they drop us, they take us back to where they took us, and they got out the car and they said to us, don't look back, just drive straight. And then we just started driving. Oh, and then before we got, they dropped us off, I was thinking to myself, how am I going to get into my house because my keys are in my bag? So then I thought, okay, yes, don't my only spend it. Let's check or something. I think we sorry, and because and then he was like, he kept quiet, he didn't answer me. And then I saw him taking out his key and he gave it to me. And I was thinking, shame, man, he probably feels sorry for me. But also, no, fucking idiot, I shouldn't even be saying shame to that fucking bastard. So after that, I see, okay, I got my keys, right? And then I was like, he's not gonna need all my cards, like my club cards and all my things, and my bank cards and whatever. So he's only gonna probably take the wallet. So I'm like, okay, let me try and ask for my cards. Yeah, more than and then he turns around and he's like, I'm just thinking, I pushed him a bit too far. And then he came quiet and then he gave them to me. Shame, eventually took them all out and he gave them to me. And that's all I got back from my stuff, you guys. And they literally dropped us off and we drove away. After driving away, like, I just told the Uber driver, please just drop me off at home. I just don't want anything. I was done. And then he literally was like, oh, we're not going to go to the police station. And I was like, oh my God, I had not even thought about the cops. So I'm like, okay, let's go to the police station. So yeah, basically when you police station, end up at Botanical Gardens. I was thinking about Botanical Gardens, guys. Hey, I'm a police assistant. Figure about Botanical Gardens, guys. They figure there's like two ladies and it's at night, you know, so they're tired and then like whatever. So we get there and like we just start explaining the story. I tell them the whole story from the time they took us to the time they brought us back, everything that happened. After telling this big ass story, the lady just said to me, she was sitting like this. Then she goes, Nitsi, when's Njani? At that point, I couldn't hold myself. I just started crying. That was the time when I started crying. I just burst into tears, and I just was like, oh my God. I mean, I just shared my trauma with you, and you're just gonna dismiss it like that. And then as I was crying, someone heard me from the back. I think it was someone big or superintendent or whoever. He comes out and he's like, "Aibo, kwenzakalani?" and stuff like that. So before he says anything, I just said, and I just want to call my sister. I call my sister, I tell her what happened and blah, blah, blah. And she's like, oh my God, blah, blah. She calls mom, all that, blah, blah, blah. So it's just a whole drama, It was, mind you, I was not speaking to mom at that time because I had just told mom that I was gay. I came out to my mom in 2018. And at that time when I came out to mom, we spent a full 2 or 3 days not talking to each other because I sent her a long ass message. And then we just kept quiet. I kept quiet, she kept quiet. And then dad called me and dad was like, shame my dad. Mola Doja. And I was like, hi, Dad Unjani. He's like, yeah, and I'm like, I'm good. Your mom tells me that you are having some issues with each other. I was just thinking to and then I was like, no, mom and I are not having any issues. I don't know why I deflected anyways. And then he was like, I guess you will tell me if you guys cannot sort it out, you must call me back. I was like, okay, thanks, Dad. And then he was like, okay. So then I dropped the call. Obviously, Dad knew, right, what the situation was. But I mean, he's my stepdad. So, I mean, he's obviously my dad, but he's my stepdad, So he was like, I don't know. I don't know what to do. So basically, you guys, the cops ended up not being able to help us. They told us that was not their district. We had to go all the way to Mayville. They organized a car, and the car took us to Mayville. So I think I sent my statement. Then I called mom with the superintendent's phone, and I just cried, and I told her everything. And she was also crying. We were just crying on the phone, and we just reconciled like that after my whole coming out. Because she probably was like, oh my God, I just almost lost my baby. And I mean, I haven't been talking to him because he told me, he shared a piece of his life with me, and I almost lost him. I mean, imagine if I died and mom was not talking to me. She would have killed herself, obviously not killed herself, but she would have felt so bad. Shame that. Yeah, but that's fine. Anyways, that's what happened with my hijacking, you guys. It literally was such an experience. I got home at 4 o'clock in the morning, barefoot, no shoes, no jewelry, no bag. I left looking so beautiful in the morning for me to come back looking like this. Yo. Hi, South Africa is a kumangaza. It's a queen. Hi, the warmest place to be. So guys, basically that's what happened with me. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I'm so sorry it was so long. It feels like I was talking forever. Thank you guys so much for watching. And I do promise that there will be more content coming through. So don't you worry. Mwah.